Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to start right down here on the table because this could be a very long process. It could take me 2 or 3 days to finish this project because, as I mentioned before, I'm making something I have never made before. And that is one of those floral wreaths. And I really have seen them on TV, and I think they're so beautiful. And I don't think we should ever be put in a box of not trying out something new. So I'm going to share with you making this floral wreath, and we'll do it together. This probably will be a 2-part video because I don't want it to get too long. And by the time I do the wreath and the center, it would probably take quite a long time. So we'll see what we can get done today, and we'll finish the second part as soon as we finish the first part. I'm going to start by telling you what you'll need for supplies. You will need a 10-inch box wire wreath. And this is called box wire because it's not dimensional. If you look at it, it's fairly straight, a little tiny bit, but nothing like what you would normally see in some wreath forms. This is 10 inches. Now, I've not been able to find a 10-inch wreath form anywhere in the stores. I had to order this on craftoutlet.com. You will also need a piece of plastic mesh. This is 7-inch, whoops, here we are. This is 7-inch plastic mesh. And what that is going to be used for is it will go on the back of the wreath here like this to create your center. And I'm going to bring you out just a little bit because I think although the block makes a good background, that'll be the center of the wreath. And this will probably be part 2. You will need 2 rolls of poly burlap. And I have a brown, well, this is actually called natural, and this one is called yellow. And what we're going to do is cut 10-inch squares of this poly burlap. I have watched 2 different folks do tutorials. One of them is Jen over at JCat's Creations, and the other is Julie at Julie's Wreath Boutique. Both of them extremely talented, and you should check out their websites. I'll try and link them below in the section below the video. Julie, as far as I can see, always uses a wood burner when she cuts her poly burlap. Jen, as a rule, and the ones I have seen anyway, does not. I have not got a wood burner at this point in time, and I'm not going to invest in one, even though they're not very expensive, unless I find out I'm going to like doing this. So we're going to cut it with a rotary cutter. So 2 rolls. I'm going to cut 17 petals of this and 17 petals of this. You will need some small diameter pipe zip ties. And it doesn't make any difference if they're 1.5 feet long, but they have to be small enough to fit through the hole in the mesh. Okay? So that's what you need that for. You'll also need some pipe cleaners and cut in half. I'm going to use them cut in half. So we're going to have a total of 34 squares. So I'm going to make 17 of the natural and 17 of the gold. I'm going to use white for the gold because I don't have any gold pipe cleaners. So I'm going to be cutting some mesh, and I'll be back when we're ready to get going. Okay, I thought I'd bring you back for the last cut here. I wanted to explain a couple of things. Both of these young ladies have emphasized that you want to cut in between the weave, the lines in the weave, to eliminate as much fraying as possible. It's going to fray. Don't get all upset when it frays. It's going to fray. Just cut it off when it frays. I found that easier said than done. So what I have is a metal edge ruler that I use for cutting chipboard with a X-Acto knife. And I've used that. And I have one more cut to do. So I'm going to do from 10 to 20. And what I try to do is I line it up, even if it's just the tiniest bit not straight, so that I stay within that line. The other thing, ladies and gentlemen, make sure your blade is sharp. I started cutting and all of a sudden it wasn't cutting. And if you have to go back through it, it's going to fray like the devil. So I put a new blade in and it has worked just fine since then. So there are the 17 pieces cut of the yellow, and I already cut the 17 of the brown. Now I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of these brown pipe cleaners in half. Put all these things away and we'll get started. Okay, 5-inch. We're going to start by putting 10 on the outer ring, 10 on the next ring, 7 on this ring, and 7 on this ring. And to do the 10, there are 5 crossbars. I'm going to put 1 at each crossbar and 1 in between each crossbar. And I'm going to start with the orange, so I will start with a white. And I'm just going to go actually around the 2, the first 2, but on either side of that crossbar. And that should help it to keep from moving. Okay. Roll up. Okay. I take one corner to the middle, the other corner to the middle, and then just squinch them together. There's your bow tie. That's the front, and that's where it's going to go right there. And I'm going to put it in here. And tie it really good. Then I'm going to take these 2 and just bring them to the back and twist them. Okay, wow, we have 1 petal. All right, next petal. 1 corner, 1 corner. Meet in the middle. And I didn't put my pipe cleaner on. I'm going to do the one in the middle of the 2. Okay, I have my bow tie. I'm going to squish it so that the right sides are up. Put it down. Twist it around. Come underneath. Would you believe last night I was peeling sweet potatoes and peeled a piece of skin right off the end of my finger, which of course does not make it easy to maneuver these little pipe cleaners. Now there's a string here. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll continue and go along. So I'll get the next one in here. Corner to corner, and just bring it up. Make it go pretty to the side and put it in the pipe cleaner. Bring these around and twist them on the back. That's what I'm doing, is twisting them on the back. Now the object with this kind of mesh is no touchy-feely. The more you touch it, the more it's going to ravel. All right, we're going in between the next one. I'm using the first two rails. I'm just gonna kind of get it ready. Take a piece, middle to middle, and squinch it together. Put the right side up. And put it through the pipe cleaner. I don't know. Seems like so far it's working. Okay, I'm going to finish putting these around the outside, and I'll be back and we'll start on the next row. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have them all the way around the outside and fiddled with them a little, just trying to get them evenly spaced. Like I said, you don't want to touch them too much because they will ravel, and they are. So I'm going to start with the brown, or natural as they call it. And what I'm going to do is to put one in between each one of the yellow ones, and that'll make 10 on the next ring. But I'm going around 2 rings again. Middle one and the next one. The second and the third one, I mean. And then I'm going down between and around and try to twist them together. Okay, I'm going to go in between these two. It does get quite big when you're trying to make it. I'm trying to get the ruffling and the wreath in view. I can tell you one thing. I think for a while anyway, I would prefer to use a whole pipe cleaner. I'm not so adept at it yet that it's nice to have that extra piece to get down here below the frame. And see, right now I'm having difficulty getting that down there. I didn't get that one attached. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go in between the next two. We'll do two more, then I'll finish them off camera again. Turn it over, get the good side, and then bend it in half. And I try to give it a pretty good hard turn, but I don't want to make it stick up in the air either. See, this to me is difficult, getting these pieces back here. So I think I'm more inclined to use a hole pipe cleaner. And stop playing with it, Donna, because you'll have it all messed up. Okay, that's these two. Now in between these two. Last one, and then I'll continue off camera. Turn it over, bend it up, and put it on. Okay, we're getting the second row done here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more to go in this row, and then we'll start again with some more yellow. Back in a few minutes. Okay, here we are. Brown is on. Brown, tan, beige, no, natural. It's not too bad, actually. Now we're going to start with the next one, which is 7 pieces. And there are 5 crossbars, so I'm going to use all 5 of those. And then what I'm going to do, and I believe this is what Jen did, she did 1 on the crossbar, 1 in between, 1 on the crossbar, none in between, 1 on the crossbar, 1 in between, 1 on the crossbar, none in between. I think that's what she did. She did 5 and then 2 more. What I'm going to start by doing is the ones on the crossbar and see where it takes me. So we're going to go. Now this becomes a challenge here to get your okay. Here we are again, bending it in half, trying to make sure. You want to look to see if these are equal, because sometimes you don't squeeze it directly in half. So we'll get that one here. And remembering to get the pipe cleaner ready before you get going. Because, I gotta set that down, because it is a challenge to get those in here now. Okay. I think it's really fun to do something that's not in your comfort zone every so often. And I think I'm messing with it a little too much. I still didn't put that in there, did I? But I think that comes with practice. I know there's a hole. I'm going to put one in between these two. And those ones that are in between, you know, you can move them. Stop putzing, Donna. Okay, so I went on the crossbar, in between, on the crossbar, not in between, on the crossbar. And I think what I'm going to do is come up here. I have two more. I think I'll put one in right here. There. Okay, I have one more orange to go, and then I'm going to do the last brown. I'm going to take a small break, get a Band-Aid because it's bleeding again, and I don't want I don't want to get it on the mesh. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I did continue on and put the last row in, so I think you can kind of see the idea now. I'm going to tell you something. If I decide that I'm going to do more of these, I'm definitely going to get a wood burner because it's a lot of fray. It's like I look at it and it frays. And I have cut a ton off, and there's still more there, but it's going to happen with that. And once it's up on a wall, it's not going to be manipulated like it is now. And so I don't think it'll be nearly as bad. Right now, I can tell you it's a little labor intensive for me, only because I haven't done one before, and it's a learning experience. But I'm all for learning. Oh my golly gee whiz. So I'm going to call this one done as much as I'm going to tackle it today. One of the things is this counter is narrow, and if I get this near me, it of course makes the ends of it ravel a little more. Tomorrow we're going to take the center and put it in here and create a bow center, a ribbon center, and I'm going to be using this ribbon, so I think that's going to be really pretty. So stop back tomorrow. It shouldn't be too long, and we'll get the center done and in, and that'll be our first ever flower wreath. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.